Well, when we were over in Washington State, it was in Yakima, Washington. I was working for a firm that had 5 attorneys. I was the 5th one. I talked to another attorney there that was doing Social Security disability practice. So he was helping people who are disabled to get benefits from the government, because it really is a hassle. The government makes it really hard to get it. I worked for him for 15 hours a week to earn a living while I was there in Washington. And so he told me this stuff. If you want to get Social Security benefits, you're going to have to learn the law first, really quickly, and then, again, delegate whatever you can to other people. The only money I had after we left the job in Yakima, Washington, and then came home here, the only thing that I had was about $100 on my credit card that I could use to spend. I thought, well, how am I going to market? How am I going to do this? You look in the phone book, and the phone book had had 20 or 30 attorneys actively using this part of the law, and that was their funding and searching. It turns out that I saw this thrifty nickel in a 7-Eleven store. This is really low budget advertising. You might not get more than one person looking at it a day. That even applies to what you're trying to get through. I paid the $100. That's all I had, and little by little, people would send their names and everything to us to get help with it. I tried Yellow Pages next, and no other attorneys were doing that in Yellow Pages, just like they weren't doing it in the Thrifty Nickel. So once I switched over, then attorneys started to see it, and they started to compete, and it cost more and more to advertise. And then I thought, oh, geez, that's not working. I'm going to try TV. So we tried TV and made commercials and got leads from all over the place. I would say the most cost-efficient one was Yellow Pages, which is now defunct. But if you had anything else, I tried it. Then finally, generally speaking, if you were to have 700 employees in my business, and I was shocked as well. He went supercilious there. It was really crazy. And then I couldn't do hearings anymore. And so I was simply working with the government, trying to do things that would make life easier for us as a company. And we became the biggest firm doing the advertising and doing this area of law in the nation. It was great. I can't believe I'm not in it anymore. But now there are guys that are more high-tech, and they're killing it. And I don't have to worry about competition anymore because I sold it to somebody else. Then I sold the practice. The practice was about 15 years that I did that. I wasn't even telling people that I wanted to sell the business. So I did, and it was these guys that already had a big power company that they owned down in Texas somewhere. And anyway, it was unbelievable how we could get everything done. And we had teams of people, around 7 or 8, that were here at the office in American Fork, and they were training other people via internet or some kind of video stuff how to do hearings, and they would go and do hearings with them. The government would reimburse us for our costs to fly all over the country to get these people ready. It was a very good thing, and I didn't have to go back to divorce or doing trusts and wills and for people, which I really hated divorce. And I hated the trusts for people that were about to die and they're setting up their estates before they die. I didn't like any of those, but this was a little more active and action coded. You could argue with the judge and with his expert witness, and a little more like Perry Mason. And I liked that until I couldn't do it anymore because we had too many people. They bought the whole thing, and so I could retire. And now I'm about to apply for Social Security.